and a very warm welcome to It Is What It Is with Omoyo Favor the Captain. Kama kawaida, I want to thank you so much for the love towards the show. Thank you so much for the likes, the shares, the views, and the subscriptions. May the Lord do you well. Bado tunaendelea with our topic of the ancient dragon and the ways in which the ancient dragon captures its victims into its mouth. Another point you are going to look at is bad company. Bad company corrupts good morals. Psalms 1 inatuonesha the kind of company we should keep. Bad company, ukihang out with evil people, wicked people, you end up becoming like them. And those wicked people, they'll never give you good advice. So bad company inaendanga along with bad advice. So combine bad company na bad advice. Because bad company can enter you into sexual sin. Bad advice can enter you into sexual sin. So you need to watch out the kind of people you are hanging out with. If you're hanging out with people who are sexually loose, sexual immorals, you're gonna turn out to be like them. When we come to bad company, the best example we are going to look at is found in 2 Samuel 13. This is the story of Ammon and Tamar. Now Ammon had a friend, a very bad friend, mwenye alimpatia advice mbaya. Na huyu friend yake alikuwa anaitwa Jonadab. Let's read that so that we can understand. In the course of time, Amnon, son of David, fell in love with Tamar, the beautiful sister of Absalom, son of David. Amnon became frustrated to the point of illness on account of his sister Tamar, for she was a virgin, and it seemed impossible for him to do anything to her. Now Amnon had a friend named Jonadab, son of Shimei, David's brother. Jonadab was a very shrewd man. You see what we said, bad company. People of bad company will always give you bad advice. So he was a very shrewd man. He asked Amnon, "Why do you, the king's son, look so haggard morning after morning? Won't you tell me?" Ammon said to him, "I'm in love with Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister. Go to bed and pretend to be ill." Jonadab said, "When your father comes to see you, say to him, I would like my sister Tamar to come and give me something to eat. Let her prepare the food in my sight so that I may watch her and then eat from her hand." So actually Amnon implemented advice ya friend yake Jonadab, and ukisoma the whole story, Amnon ended up raping Tamar. So she entered Tamar into sexual sin. Why? Because out of bad company, the Bible records that his friend was a shrewd man. Akampatia evil advice, akampatia bad advice, akamwambia niaje, go and pretend that you're sick. It's the only way that you can have Tamar. It's the only way that you can have sex with her, and this is exactly what he did. So bad company can corrupt good morals. And even in our modern day life, kuna watu wanaingizanga wengine into sexual sin. Uko na friend anaenda na kuambia niaji, unataka huyu msichana, unataka this lady, do this and this and this. So out of bad advice, somebody is entered into sexual sin. 2 Samuel 16:20. Absalom said to Ahithophel, "Give us your advice. What should we do?" Mkumbuke, Ahithophel alikuwa advisor wa David. And his word was like an oracle. Ilikuwa ni kama God mwenyewe amesema. So, chochote alisema was highly regarded. And so, this is what aliambia Absalom. Imagine, this is the advice alimpatia. He answered, "Lie with your father's concubines, whom he left to take care of the palace. Then all Israel will hear that you have made yourself an offense to your father's nostrils, and the hands of everyone with you will be strengthened." So they pitched a tent for Absalom on the roof, and he lay with his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel. Imagine, Ahithophel, advisor mzima wa David, ana advise sane yake alale na concubines wake on top of the roof and in the sight of all Israel. Imagine. So bad advice entered Absalom, mtoi wa David, into sexual sin. It is always good to mind our company. It is always good to pay attention to ile advice unapewa. Think about it before you implement. Otherwise, bad company and bad advice will enter you into sexual sin. The last point we are going to look at is lack of the fear of the Lord. Proverbs 10:27. The fear of the Lord prolongs days, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened. This verse is so applicable even in the world we're living in. Watu wenye wako sexually immoral hawaishingi long. Hawaishingi long. Sexual sin has a way of cutting your days here on earth. Sexual sin has a way of ensuring you don't thrive. So wewe hata kama utakuwa ukiishi ni kama ulikufa, because nothing of yours will be working. Because tulisema sexual sin hinders purpose, it hinders greatness. So wewe hata kama ujeziko ukakufa ukaingia kwa kaburi, maisha yako huku itakuwa si poa. It's like you're already dead but you're living. And ikigo to an extent yenye iko mbaya sana, literally unakufa. Because sexual sin shortens our days. Sexual sin shortens longevity ya life ya mtu. That is Proverbs 10:27. So if we have no fear of God, it can enter us into sexual sin. Genesis 19, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, they never had the fear of God in them. Walikuwa naishi maisha venye wanataka. Sexual immorality ilikuwa imefika at the climax. Yani they did so much evil in the eyes of God, mpaka God akaona the best I can do is just destroy these people. I blot them out from the face of the earth. And that is exactly what happened. We all know what happened in Genesis 19, story ya Sodom na Gomorrah. Lack of the fear of God ndio inafanyanga watu wasione mwili wao kama ni hekalu. Because they don't fear God, they don't give attention to his laws. They don't give attention to his commands. Lack of the fear of God ndio ilikuwa inafanya the early believers ama the early Christians waingia into sexual sin. That is why Apostle Paul alikuwa nakasirika sana na wao. Every time he was calling them out because of sexual sin. He was calling them out, condemning them because of sexual sin. And he was not tolerating sexual sin. Every time alikuwa anawaambia how to live. Because when you have the fear of God in you, hauwezi ingia into sexual sin. But the opposite is true. As long as you don't fear the Lord, for you sexual sin is not an issue. You will get into sexual sin any time of the day. Anywhere with anybody. 1 Corinthians 5 inasema kuna watu walikuwa naendelea kwenda fellowship, yet they were practicing sexual immorality na wanafanya vitu zenye even pagans don't do. Ebu try to imagine sexual acts that even pagans don't do, lakini kuna Christians time ya Apostle Paul walikuwa na engage into those activities na bado wanaenda into fellowship. Bado wana gather na the believers. Apostle Paul was so mad mpaka akasema watu wanafaa wapeane kwa shetani wakuefunza kwa wengine. Judges 19:22. And leo sisomi sana because of time, but you can as well as take it up as homework, uende usome extensively those scriptures so you can get a deeper understanding of these points za leo. While they were enjoying themselves, some of the wicked men of the city surrounded the house. Pounding on the door, they shouted to the old man who owned the house, "Bring out the man who came to your house so we can have sex with him." The owner of the house went outside and said to them, "No, my friends, don't be so vile. Since this man is my guest, don't do this disgraceful thing. Look, here is my virgin daughter and his concubine. I will bring them out to you now, and you can use them and do to them whatever you wish. But to this man, don't do such a disgraceful thing." But the men would not listen to him. So the man took his concubine and sent her outside to them, and they raped her and abused her throughout the night, and at dawn they let her go. At daybreak the woman went back to the house where her master was staying, fell down at the door and lay there until daylight. Now these guys are behaving like the guys of Sodom and Gomorrah. They have no fear of God in them. So they go knocking, they want to have sex with the Levite. But ule mtu alikuwa amewa host akawaambia niaje, msifanye kitendo kama hiki. I have my daughter who is a virgin and we also have another concubine here. Please mnaweza mchukua. But they could not hear of it. They were insisting they want the man. Yani to them, they had no fear of God in them. Hata hawatambui. These are people who are wicked, evil. So hawako wanatambua. They wanted to have sex with the man. And eventually, when the man didn't come out, they took his concubine and raped her the whole night until morning. Imagine. And ukisoma hapo down, utaona the concubine actually passed on. So this is what lack of fear of God can do. It can enter people into sexual sin. It can drive people into sexual sin. That is all I had for you today. Let us try our best not to be captured by the ancient dragon, sexual immorality. Let us captivate the fear of God in us. Let us avoid bad company and bad advice. Let us keep away from competition, revenge, and jealousy that can lead us into sexual sin or sexual immorality. It is what it is. This is Wamoyo Favor the Captain. Thank you so much for your likes, the shares, and the subscriptions. Na bado kama hauja subscribe, please do. Thank you so much for your love, and may the Lord do you well. So long. God bless you.